What up, well, what Digi Dread on the mic coming in with a BT14 vaccine deck profile for your retinas because this deck is looking hella fire in BT14. So, in this video, go over the tech, strat, all that good stuff. So, if this is a video for you, then sit down, grab yourself a drink, and enjoy. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and turn the notification bell. Do videos on the reg. Let's climb up to that 1K goodness. So let's dive straight into what this deck is doing, the support that is actually being provided, and our overall game plan. So right now, Patamon is really accelerated the deck a fair bit, and we are utilizing our security a lot more than originally. Originally, we just kind of had the TK. This one right here, which pretty much just kind of, you know, searched us our relevant pieces and so forth. But now we've got a lot of support, which kind of taps into our security and really gets amazing benefit from doing so. So let's go over to the eggs. The eggs are standard. Going to be just your 4 Kyaromon. This one is just great, just because it gives you jamming if a card was removed from security stack. Absolute golden. That's going to happen a lot in this deck. So giving your stack jamming just means that you can swing in nice and safe and not even worry about that thing, apart from obviously the options. So we do run that 4 as standard. Going over to the rookies, we do run a solid 12. So let's go over the ones that are essentially going to be the floodgate, especially for this format. We're going to obviously go with the Cute-Mon from BT5. This just basically stops opponents from reducing Digivolution costs, which obviously everyone's going to be running those trainings. So this is actually going to come pretty clutch in order for them to just like be like, no, absolutely stop all those shenanigans right there, which could be quite detrimental depending on obviously what memory they're going to be sat on. So we do run that Cute-Mon at 3. Then we do run the Pillarmon at 2, and this is Pillarmon from BT9. So basically all turns, players can't play Digimon by effects. This is going to be good when you're versing Feralugumon. Anything that's going to be spawning Digimon out, this is where Pillarmon just really helps with that matchup right there. So for me, run that at solid 2. I feel like we're going to be running into a lot more Digivolution reduction cards. So I think Cute-Mon definitely warrants a 3, and obviously the Pillarmon warrants there too, because it's only kind of one matchup really that's going to be spewing a lot of Digimon out as part of their game plan. Then we go over to the BT13 Kudamon. This Kudamon is actually pretty spicy in this deck because it's our searcher essentially. Is that we're able to reveal top 3 and add 1 yellow card with vaccine in its traits and 1 yellow Tamer as well. So we're getting the absolute worth out of this boy, going the mileage. And then on top of that, when attacking, this it's not necessarily essential for the game plan, but if there are 6 or fewer total cards in both players' security stacks, one of your opponents gets minus 2k DP for the turn. Because this is obviously a recovery kind of deck, it's very rare that this might actually happen because we are kind of aiming to keep our security quite high, but there might be the off chance where this might actually proc off. But like I say, we are just playing Kudamon more for the search. Because at the moment it doesn't really have much of a search card in this archetype apart from Kudamon. Then we go over to the new Patamon SR edition. Alt art looking fresh to death. This card right here be putting in work. Really accelerates the deck massively. This is why you want to be running at 4 offs. Because start of main, look at your security stack. Winning. This Digimon may Digivolve into a yellow Digimon with vaccine in its traits amongst them from obviously without paying its cost, which is huge. Absolutely huge. You won't believe how huge this is. Being access to your security and just evo into a champion is the absolute source. Now, champion lineup actually has got some awesome spice with that there too. Then shuffle your security stack. If Digivolved by this effect, you may place 1 yellow card with vaccine trait from your hand to the bottom of your security stack, which then we obviously can facilitate setting up further plays in the future. Honestly, this Patamon is gorgeous. And then inherit. Your turn once per turn. When a card is added to the security stack, gain the memory. Oh, Jesus, this paired up with a new TK. Eating well. God, hand me a freaking bib. I swear. So, easily 4 off, no doubt. That concludes for the rookies. Going over to the champions, we do run a solid 10. So we gotta have the freaking cracked Geogreymon. I mean, this boy be putting in that work as solid. Obviously, Evo for free, so it is a bit costly. But we have a lot of cards that we can just literally just cheat for either free or for a reduced cost. So when Digivolving, you may search your security stack for one red or yellow Tamer card and play without its cost, winning. And if you do this, you recover one, then shuffle. Bang. Awesome. And then the inherit is also kind of nice. When one of your red or yellow Tamers suspends, you may delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 3000 DP or less. Like I say, it's more for the when Digivolving effect is kind of nice for this deck. The inherit, if it happens, winning. If it doesn't, no harm done. But for us, we are running that at a solid 3. Then we're going to run our hybrid for game. That's standard. We've got Kazimon up in here. The reason why Kazimon is good is because it actually facilitates setup for our ace plays, especially when we also use Magnamon, Magna Angelmon there too. So it's really good, and obviously it just helps us kind of utilize our Tamers if we in a clutch binder we just want to need just one more swing. Boom, this is what Kazimon's there for. So no more needed right there. That is a solid 2 of. Then let's go over to the new boy. It's going to be our Angemon. Angemon right here, I'm not gonna lie, it's probably not one of my favorite lots. I do like the original a little bit better, but regardless, it does look pretty fresh, and I'm looking forward to seeing that texture. So Angemon is the sec of BT14, which really does help out the deck quite a bit. But we only run 3 of him in this deck. I feel like 4's a bit overkill. I think 3 you can probably get away with. So when attacking, by deleting this Digimon, you can activate one of the following effects. Effect number 1. Place one of your opponent's Digimon with Virus in the trait at the bottom of the opponent's security stack, which is that's just instant removal if you're facing Virus type Digimon. The other one was one of your opponent's Digimon gains 5000 DP, minus 5000 DP for the end for the turn, which once again, that's a bit of removal is sick. But luckily, this Angemon does have a on deletion effect. Is that place this card at the bottom of your security stack. Then, if you have a Tamer in play, you may hatch a Digi-Egg in your breeding area. So once again, depending on the scenario, you can obviously get another egg hatch and just start building up in the back, which is kind of nice. You're going for a swing, you're kind of still accelerating your game plan. It's pretty solid. Its inheritable is also spicy as well. On deletion, place one yellow Digimon with vaccine in its traits from your hand at the bottom of your security stack, which is nice. Once again, setting up those plays right there. So a nice solid 3 of right there for me, no less. Then the source, the absolute powerful removal. And we're going to run on that armor Digimon. It's going to be Rapidmon. Rapidmon right here, even though obviously its evo cost is 4, when we are using that Paramon or using our option Messenger of Hope, you know, we can effectively just evo for this for either for free or we can go in it for 1, which is pretty huge because this boy is a menace. So if we did have Terrymon, it'd evo for free, but we don't. But it is armor pitch, so it's an armor type Digimon, so I can swing in if I happen to crash into something above 6k, then I can just remove this card and I still have my rookie underneath. But when Digivolving, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon for each Tamer you have in play. Then you may, up to 3 of your opponent's suspended Digimon gain minus 3000 DP for the turn, which is great for that nice wide board removal. Really good. This card was a menace in the freaking yellow hybrid days. I reckon it's gonna have a solid place right here. It means that you can be kind of aggressive there as well, and then kind of evo up into your essentially your ultimate or your mega. Really solid card right here. Definitely run it a solid 2 of. So that concludes for the champions 10. Going over to the ultimates. Ultimates, we do run an 8. So let's go over with just the Angemon, and then we'll go to the Angemon X. So, Angelwoman. Angelwoman is solid in this deck because it's when Digivolving is able to obviously search our security. Like I say, that's the common theme in this deck with searching security. We're getting a lot of gains off that security, off us checking security, because we can gain memory and so forth. We're obviously reducing the cost of you evoing up and climbing up to obviously your mega. So then obviously from that we can reveal 1 card with Angel, Archangel, Fallen Angel, trait from it, and then add it to my hand. And then if we've done that, we obviously be able to recover 1 and shuffle. Beautiful. Your turn doesn't even matter, doesn't even apply. But obviously the inheritable can apply in some instances. So while you have a purple Digimon in play, all of your Digimon with Angel, Archangel, and Fallen Angel gain blocker. So the interesting thing here is obviously we do have Shadow Seraphi in our build. So depending on obviously the line that we do climb up of, it can be kind of relevant. But you know, it's a play that's probably not your main win con, but it can happen. So we do run that as a solid 3, and then we go into the Android Woman X antibody version. We do run this at 2, because once again we tap into that when digivolving. We can obviously put a minus security attack on one of the opponent's Digimon to the end of the turn, and then if this Digimon has Android Woman, then if Android Woman X one of these Digimon Evolution cards, you have 5 or fewer security cards, then obviously we can recover. So it's basically a recovery card right here. Very nice. Exactly what we want to do to kind of restabilize. We do run that as a solid 2 as standard, and then we go into our freaking Magna Angemon Ace. So this really comes freaking clutch. So good, this card. All art looks fresh, I'm not gonna lie. So obviously with the Ace, we can obviously just blast Digivolve, and obviously we can counter, so we can do it in the counter step when an opponent's attacking at us. So obviously we've got that on play. We can hard slam it for 4, which is actually not bad value right there. But obviously for us, it's like when digivolving, if you have 5 or fewer security cards, recover 1. Oh, juicy. Then one of your opponent's Digimon gets 1000 DP for each of your security cards that you have in your stack. So that is obviously subjective to how many security cards you do have in your stack. If you have a plethora of cards up in there, you're going to be doing some massive DP reductions, which is just glorious. Especially if you are evoing up your line, you can really basically take out a big body if need to be. So really good setup with this card. 4 costs to just hard slam this bad boy down. This boy's coming in like shing. We're just going through the freaking jugular. So definitely a solid 3 of right there. Easy. So concludes for the ultimates, a solid 8. Going over to the megas, we run 8 altogether. So quite hefty on the top end, but they all have their amazing utility. So let's just start off with Mama. How you doing, girl? Serving up the milk. I tell you, Venusmon's a freaking menace. Oh god, this card is just annoying when it's on the field. Like every time you just think like, what does it do? And somehow you just always forget. You just always forget and you screw yourself over. So Venusmon is a menace. 1, it's vaccine. It works so well in his deck. It's a great defensive card and can really stall out games. When digivolving, all your opponent's Digimon gains minus security attack +1. Oh, I don't want to see any of that. That just stalls out a game. But for us, it's happy days when it comes clutch. And then on the opponent's turn, your opponent with Digimon with security attack can't attack this Digimon and can't activate when attacking and when digivolving effects. Awful. Absolutely awful. Really delicious card. Definitely want to run at a nice solid 1. The reason why I say 1 is because this deck has so many ways to just pick a card. Pick a card with vaccine. I feel like you can warrant the 1. If you obviously want to up it, you can up it to 2 if needs be. Not a problem. You want to make sure that you're taking that sweet dub. So yeah, if you feel like, obviously depending on your meta, I'd knock up to 2 if needs be, but I feel like 1's just right, just because how efficient this deck is at searching its pieces and just tapping into essentially an extended hand, which is your security stack. Then we go over this boy, Seraphimon BT14 edition, coming in with the absolutely yeah, glorious artwork. It's surprising how effective this card actually is. So when digivolving, just a flat out recover 1. No condition, no, I must have done my dissertation under 30 days. Like, no, it's just blam, straight away, just recover 1. That's what I want. And then the all turns is rather delicious. So all turns, when a card is added to your security stack, you, one of your opponent's Digimon gains or gets minus 7k DP, and this Digimon gains security attack plus 1 for the turn, which is glorious. It means that we've got like a nice bit of heavy aggression going in with the Seraphimon. We've got Kyaramon on deck with the jamming. It's all good. It's delicious. Minus 7k DP can clear a blocker, that's for sure. It can definitely clear a blocker. It can reduce someone down that you might be like, right, I want to end turn with just a hard slam Magna Angemon. Shazam. That means that they've got minus 7k already. And then, depending on your security stack, you've just literally just obliterated the menace that was there. Really good setup with this card. The fact that it's all turns. Anything that's all turns just really, it's just amazing. Absolutely great stuff. So we run that at 4 because that's the main mon that you do want to kind of go into. But then we got the dark version coming in like you, coming in like boy. So when I mentioned about the Angel woman with the inheritable, yeah, that doesn't quite work with this because I didn't realize that this boy was just a seraph. I thought he had angel in it, but no, he's just a seraph. So I do apologize before the comments start flooding in. I'm human. Yellow is not my archetype, but I've been testing this bad boy, and yeah, it's a slight mishap on myself, and I completely forgot. But regardless of all that, Shadow Seraph, I mean, this boy is a menace, and you know, there's been a few decks that have been taking him in like armors and so forth, the security control version. But now this boy has a good solid place in where it should be, and that is his own deck. So, Evo for 4, but Evo for 1 on top of Seraphimon. Gorgeous. Unfortunately, it's not a freaking vaccine, which is a little bit annoying. It's not easily searchable, but as long as we can tap into, you know, just kind of drawing into him, then sweet. It's not the main game plan of going into him, but it really helps out. So opponent's turn. When a card is removed from your security stack, Digi-Evolve one of your opponent's Digimon. So just great stuff right there. And this is not once per turn. So if their opponent's kind of going in ham, you can reduce a lot of their stacks by just Digi-Evolving 1, which is great. And then on deletion, you recover 1, which is great. And then one of your opponents gets minus 4k DP for the turn for each card in your security stack. Huge. This boy really puts in that work. So that's why I've put him in 2-2, because, like I say, it is a lot harder for us to essentially grab him. We do have the TK that can grab a yellow card, which is just, my boy, comes in clutch. But, you know, overall, it is a little bit difficult because he is not a vaccine type. He is a virus, unfortunately. And then obviously in the mirror, you do have to watch out because this boy can be bottom decked by versing the same freaking deck, especially with obviously your boy Angemon 2nd edition. So we do run that there too. Then lastly, we do go in with the Shine Greymon coming in absolutely like the Sengan ready. I'm like, God, my boy, calm down. So we already kind of know what Shine Greymon does, but obviously for the new players, it's a menace in this deck because we can actually search it out and it can control the game a lot. 15 KP, 15 DP, massive. When Digi-Evolving and also when on deletion, until the end of your opponent's next turn, all of your opponent's Digimon get 1,000 minus 5,000 DP. Huge. Then end of attack. This Digimon and one of your opponent's Digimon and recover 1. Oh, sorry. Let me read that again. I completely processed it, but didn't quite acknowledge. Delete. There we go. The key thing here. Delete this Digimon and one of your opponent's Digimon, and then recover 1. Then, if you have a Tamer in play, I'm able to hatch an egg in an empty space. Banging. I don't know what happened there, guys. I had a bit of a brain fart. So, Shine Greymon, menace. I wouldn't say it's like, oh, you definitely need a Shine Greymon in the deck. You can kind of get away with it. It's like, you know, you can throw a Death X if you wanted to. It really depends on your meta. But I feel like Shine Greymon being in a deck that can actually search it out pretty comfortably is definitely a win here, guys. So we do run that at just a 1. I don't think you need a 2. That's overkill. I don't think the wallets can handle 2. So that concludes for the Digimon. Altogether, we do run a solid 38. So going over to the Tamers and Options. So standard is going to be our TK, Memory Setter, great card. BT1, this boy is still repping. I swear, this guy's got the mileage. What, BT14? Woo! Shoo! He's definitely done it. So, Memory Center, gorgeous. Obviously, for us, having a look at our security stack and able to grab 1 yellow card for amongst them. Or if we've done that, then recover 1. Easy 3 of for sure. But let's go over to the good. Let's go to the additional spice. This card is really good. Honestly, reduces a lot of plays. You can just throw all of these down, you're laughing. So on play, by returning the top card of your security stat from your security stat to your hand, you may place 1 yellow Digimon with vaccine in the traits from your hand at the bottom of your security stack. So then, when it's your turn, when a card is added to your security stack, you may suspend this tamer and gain a memory. Like I say, there's a lot of effects that are literally throwing stuff into your security stack. So getting memory off that, nom nom. Having more than 2 of these, honestly, like turboing up to a freaking mega is easily done in this deck. And obviously for us, because we do run a lot of a lot of cards that are kind of a bit outside of the archetype, having more of these down and obviously triggering the cards coming from security just helps reduce some of those costs there too. So definitely a solid 3. If you could bump it up to 4 if you want to, but I feel like 4's just maybe a little bit overkill. So then let's go over to the new cracked option. This nuts. This card, honestly, freaking nuts how this card plays out. So its main, which is powerful. Search your security stack. Then one of your Digimon may Digivolve into a level 6 or lower, a yellow Digimon with vaccine in its traits for months without paying its cost. So realistically, you could possibly go into a level 6 for the cost of 1, as long as I got vaccine in the trait, which mainly our top end is minus Shadow Seraph. So from there, then you may shuffle your security. If a Digimon Digivolves with this effect and you have a TK out in the field, recover 1. Boom, you recover 1, you get to trigger all those inheritables that essentially go off by something going into your stack. It's an absolute win. Absolute win. This card is so nuts. Then its inherent is activate the card's main effect, which, boy, nuts. Then you may place a Patamon from your hand or trash, or you may play a Patamon from your hand or trash without paying this cost. Then add this card to hand. Like, there's no losing. The boys not taking no L's here. You can trigger the main. You can play a Patamon. And then add this card to hand for you to pop off next turn. Honestly, I could easily bump this to 4. Like, out of all the cards that I would love to bump to 4, it'd be this. It would be straight up this. Feel like 3 is just okay. But 4, if someone said, oh, bump it to 4, I'd be like, yes, sir. I wouldn't even question. So then let's go over to the last card of the bunch, and that's going to be obviously going to be physical training. Trainings are just crazy because pretty much all of our line has got some tinge of yellow in it. This can't miss. This literally cannot miss. So we reveal top 2, and then we were able to add a yellow card from amongst them, and then return the rest of the bottom of our deck. And then its delay is that you may Digivolve into a yellow Digimon from your hand by paying its cost, and then when it would be Digivolved by its effect, reduce it by 2, which once again helps massively because we have a lot of cards that you know, do cost a little bit more outside of, obviously, their archetype. Obviously, Rapidmon costs 3. Obviously, with physical training, you know, it's going to cost us 1. And we have an armor type Digimon, and we've got possibly a heavy board wipe right there too. So these trainings are definitely going to be shaping this meta. It'd be a freaking laugh if Bandai was like, yeah, restrict these to 1. I'd be like, wow. I'd be like, wow. But right now, we ain't got any word of that. So we're rocking up to 3 as standard. But guys, that's your boy done. Vaccine deck profile for your retinas. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope I delivered it well. Sorry for butchered a few things there. Sorry for the misinformation on the Angel Woman. I was like, when I read it, I'm like, I don't think the Seraph, unless Seraph does class as a fallen angel or archangel or something, I don't think that will class as a block. But, you know, let me know in the comments. But yeah, I do apologize if I have got that incorrect, then my bad. But stay safe, stay fly, and I'll catch you next one. Peace.